Mara had always been drawn to old houses. There was something about the scent of aged wood and the weight of history in the walls that comforted her. So when she found a cheap rental in an old Victorian house on the outskirts of town, she signed the lease without hesitation. The landlord, an elderly man with sunken eyes, hesitated before handing her the keys. "Just don't go into the attic," he muttered. Mara laughed. "Why? Is it haunted?" The landlord didn't smile. "Just keep it locked." She dismissed the warning as superstition. For the first few nights the house was silent except for the usual creaks and groans of an old structure settling in the wind. But on the fifth night she heard it, whispering. It was faint, barely audible, coming from the attics, and Mara sat up in bed, heart pounding. Probably just the wind, she told herself. The next night the whispers returned. This time she could make out words. "Let me out." A chill ran through her spine. Determined to prove to herself that she was imagining things, Mara grabbed a flashlight and made her way up the narrow staircase. The attic door was locked, just as the landlord had instructed, but as she stood there, a loud came from inside, as if something had thrown itself against the door. Her breath hitched. Then the whispers turned into desperate sobs. Mara scrambled back to her room, locking the door behind her. The next morning she called the landlord. "What's in the attic?" she demanded. A long silence. Then, in a hushed voice, he said, "My daughter." Mara's blood ran cold. "But I thought you lived alone." "I do," he whispered. "She's been dead for 30 years. That night Mara didn't sleep, and when the whispers started again, she packed her bags and fled, never looking back.